Well, it's the middle of summer, obviously, and Minnesota gardeners are in the thick of everything green and leafy if they can keep it alive.
I know, or some of it, a lot of it brown
yeah.
and leafy. But if things are not going so well, we've got your back. Joining us live to answer your gardening questions is garden guy Dale K. He's the answerer. He's the answer man this morning.
Yeah, I like the setup, Dale. Well done. You need a drink in your hand.
You do. All right, so we have some questions out there.
Right.
Stay hydrated, my friend. We asked some questions on our Buzz Instagram page and my Facebook page, and we're going to start with this one from Ryan. He said he planted a young maple tree this spring, and he wants to know just how much water to be giving it in this drought. So, what say you,
it's actually a really
Dale K?
It's actually a really good question, Ryan. Firstly, newly planted plants need about 1 inch or even up to 2 inches of water per every week, and I would err on the 2-inch side with a tree. The thing is, and of course we're in a drought, it's nice and hot, you really don't want to splash all that water around. So having a little tree watering bag just like this one, this holds about 20 gallons of water, or a tree soaker ring just like this. What this does is create slow, deep, moist waterings because you need that water to get down into the root zone. But about 1 inch, 2 inches of water per week.
I didn't know either one of those things existed. That's awesome to know. Huh, all right. Next question is from Kathy. She says, I have 2 endless summer hydrangeas. Now, every year, there's a picture here. The one on the right gets 1 bloom, just a single bloom, and the one on the left gets absolutely nothing. They receive filtered sun most of the day on the south side of her house. Healthy, apparently, otherwise, just no blooms. So she asks, does she give up, or dig them up and give up, or can she do something about it?
Cody, that's probably one of the most asked questions in a garden center, like what's going on behind me is the endless summer hydrangea. Firstly, number one is it was one of the first editions of the endless summer, or that macrophylla type hydrangea that is hardy up in this neck of the woods. There's a lot of varieties out there now that are a lot hardier, including this one here, which is called Summer Crush. But essentially, here's what's going on. The bloom occurs on what we call first year wood, which is this green or this season's growth. The actual flower comes off of what we call second year wood, which is actually this darker stem here. So you really have to get this protected over the winter. So the way to do that is cover it with lots of mulch, leaves, rose cones, something like that. But you have to have this wood, this second year wood. Next year, this will be second year wood, obviously, but you have to have some of that survive the winter for the blooms to push. The second thing is you need lots of sun, and early fertilizing, particularly with an acidic type fertilizer, would be really helpful. But there is those areas where the original endless summer just doesn't bloom. If you want to cut bait, try one of the newer varieties like this Summer Crush. There's Bloomstruck, there's a lot more. Go to your favorite local garden shop. They'll show you those and give those a try instead.
Huh.
Okay, we got another one out here for you. A question. This one comes from Taryn, and she wants to know how to pick herbs so she can get the most produce out of them.
So continual pruning is best, or pinching as I call it. You don't want to let, and this is a mint right here. This is my mint from home. I love it. I actually make like summer drinks out of mint. I also do some sauces for my lamb with mint. But what you want to do is make sure it doesn't go to flower. And you can see, this one here is in kind of bloom here. You don't want to let any of your herbs, whether it's oregano, basil, mint, you really don't want to let them go to flower. And you can see where I've made the pinch right here. This was back earlier in the spring. I don't know if Strummy can see that, but I made the pinch there, and then it branched out from there. So continual pinching. This one's got a little flower starting. I'm just going to pinch that right there, and that will cause new growth to push, and that's really what you're after, is all that nice fresh new growth. So this one actually needs a little bit of love.
Pinching.
I haven't been at my own garden for a while, but pinching is the thing.
Yeah.
Dale, you gave me everything I was looking for. You said, I can't even say it now, basil and oregano.
Oregano.
Love it. I know you said
yeah,
some good...
If I had a banged-in compost, mate, you would have had the trifecta.
Okay, there it is. We got it, the trifecta.
I love it. All right, next question, Dale. Kathy M. asks, what can I put weed killer and fertilizer down in light of the drought and heat? So obviously weed killer in one spot, fertilizer in another. You're supposed to do it at certain times. What are those times?
Okay, let's take a look at lawns in general. And I took a picture this morning. There's a lot of this going on in the Twin Cities right now, brown lawns. If your lawn looks brown like this one, it's dormant. You don't want to apply any fertilizer, any weed killer, anything like that until it greens. up because not only can you do more damage with a herbicide and a fertilizer with burning, but you being dormant, they just won't take in any of what's going on there. So a couple of key things to look out for. Coming up, I like to say around State Fair time, Labor Day weekend, that's an excellent time to get back into the lawn. Hopefully we'll have some rainfall, but we'll have some cooler temperatures at night and warm days. That will push some green growth and get the lawns active again. And when you do fertilize, if you've got a stressed out lawn, most lawns are stressed, look for something that says slow release. You can see that right on the bag there of this Milorganite. Slow release is key. And then if you're looking for a herbicide that won't damage the lawn, is made specifically for our cool season grasses. We have cool season grasses up in this neck of the woods. That's a whole different subject. That this weed-free zone here by Fertilizing, that's really not a plug, but that's just something that I use at home, and that is a very good herbicide for taking care of all those weeds in your lawn. But again, don't do that on any type of stressed lawn. Super, super important.
Okay, so finally we have another question from someone named Dale D. He says, he's not enamored with the grass. You're talking about that, but he would love to find some native ground cover for the bulk of his yard. What do you think is a good go-to ground cover if you really want to cover a lot of space?
So the U of M, I know, is working on a lot of native grasses that will start to emulate lawns. They'll stay low, they won't bloom too much, and so soon, 10 years or so from now, we'll have some of those alternatives for lawn. As far as a ground cover now, I actually found this little native back in that native section, kind of way over back there, and this is called common oak sedge. It's a carex grass, but this particular grass, firstly it's native, and secondly it stays low. It's clump forming, so if you plant these in mass, what you'll be able to do is you will be able to mow right over them or get your little trimmers out, but essentially you're looking for plants that are less high maintenance than our regular turf grasses, our C4 turf grasses that we were talking a little bit about a little bit ago. But there are some native alternatives, but they are working on a lot of different grasses that you'll be able to plant in your lawn that will be a lot less taxing on the environment.
I do love the U of M for that, and apples and all the other stuff that comes out of the U of M. It is a great little resource. Dale, Kay, thank you very much. We appreciate it. I think we're going to do more of this because
there's so many questions.
My yard needs help too.
Yeah, maybe you can help me with my ferns
you were
next
texting
time.
me the other. You were texting me the other day on zinnias. Even I'm having problems with the heat too. So don't panic. Even the best gardeners are struggling a little bit in the heat. So don't give up, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
We're not giving up, Dale.
Yeah. No